program is part of the Scene Project's podcast network. The Scene Project features interviews with independent musicians, comedians, and artists from across the Midwest. Become part of our community and support local art wherever you are.
Streams filling our hands, begging to be sung, remembering the lives we lived before, searching for answers out in the void. We're all just restless girls and boys, looking for keys to open the door. Time's everlasting, time never lasts. Seconds slipping from my grasp, holding you closer, holding our breath, observing the march of time as the present quickly fades into our past. Swimming in circles now and we can't get out and we can't get off this ride. A vessel is tossing in the waves. Step up the shadows, no need to hide. Our future is rising with the tide. The only thing we need to be is brave. Time's everlasting, but time never lasts. Quite as long as we wanted to. Watching seconds slipping from my grasp, holding you closer, holding our breath, observing the march of time as the present quickly fades into our past.
Welcome into another exciting episode of The Scene. I am your host, Bubba Starts, and you are here tonight for Love Noise, hosted by the Midwest Original Music Organization. We have a very special guest today on the show. Michael Cagle is with us. Michael, welcome in.
Hey, so I love that song. I've heard it twice today, and I like it.
Well, I played it just for you. I haven't settled on another one of my songs for the intro yet. Our other co-host, Willie Thornton, who will be joining us, uses my song Drifter as his. So that kind of put that one out of the realm of possibility. But yeah, I mean, I have them.
It's such a great invite song. It just makes you feel, energy, but it gives you, doesn't like define a certain, genre or anything, but it just like, it's so inviting. Really good.
The best part is that I know it pretty well, so I know exactly where I'm at in the song as I'm sharing this out on Facebook and across social media, and we're live everywhere on YouTube and letting everyone know where we're at and what we're doing. So instead of playing someone else's song, which I've done before, and then be like, oh crap, it's over.
But you know what? Yeah, just because you're helping so many other people get their music out and you spend so much time, promoting, and it's okay to step back and say, I'm also an artist and I also have stuff that I've done that I love and I'm going to get it out there as well. So yeah, totally. I'm totally
right. And secretly, that when this all hits, I'm hoping that I collect some royalties on all of the plays as it goes too, right? So that's always been like a backdoor slide in. I use the song that you hear on the intro part is one of my songs as well. I call Rise Up. So that's in there. So just that beginning lick and thing driving into people. I'm working all subconscious. And that's what it's a big part of what I want to teach other artists as well, as like, this is why you need a podcast. This is why you need all these things, is so you have a daily opportunity to show up and to be, you don't have to be pushing your music and listen to me on Spotify and doing all those things, but you can slowly be slipping your song and music and all these things into the world without being pushy and feeling kind of gross about it, because I feel kind of gross about it, having to do that all the time, right? And I'm constantly asking when we should be giving. And that's really where the podcast and all these different shows that we're doing have been such a great thing for me, is that I'm able to give. I can start every conversation and say, hey, I'd love to have you on my program and to share your music with the world. And I don't have to ask you for a thing. It takes the selling part out of it. And I think that the more people understand that, and that's a big part of what this show is more of that give back, right? So yeah, I appreciate you being with me tonight, Michael. I know we got to spend a long time together online with our other show, Unsigned Spotlight, today.
Yes!
Which is just a
great show today.
I love that show.
Great show. And so fun. So just, what a great way to start a day. Because like it's 10 o'clock in the morning where I'm at. So it's like, it's a great kickoff, and for you it's like right after lunch or during lunch, so it's like it's just a great, the show is so good.
Yeah, and then for our co-host AJ, it's around supper time for him. It's literally catching everyone at a different part of their day, and I really enjoy it. So for those of our listeners and everything that don't know you, I'd love for you to just kind of introduce us a little bit to, who is Michael Cagle? Give us a little bit of the backstory while I'm kind of doing the rest of my prep here and homework.
Okay, that's a good question. Who am I? Well, I am a singer and songwriter now. It's so weird because I've never used that with me, even though I wrote music. It's so bizarre, but I have been singing and entertaining and performing all my life. It's pretty much all I know. Some people say it's kind of all I'm good at, and some people say I'm not even that good. So, but I am basically someone that has always had a dream in his heart to perform and to give and to share. And I just love different avenues of performing, whether it's singing, whether it's headlining, whether it's performing in theater. I love music. It has been a consistent part of my life for as long as I can remember. Theater has been a big part of my life. And during one very dark period in my late teens, theater literally saved my life. So I'm just now coming into my own as someone. I finally feel proud to say that I'm actually a recording artist, that I've got different things happening going on in my life, music wise. I'm happily married. I have 3 huskies and a bearded dragon. So life is pretty good. So
I love that, obviously you've been performing your whole life, but you're really stepping into this singer-songwriter space, right? And into a different place. Now, you're known as the ballad belter, and anyone that finds you online will understand why. And we're going to hear a little bit of that on on the songs that you've written, that you've submitted tonight for the show. But it's so much different when it's your own music, right? Rather than going out and singing someone else's songs, that you're really pouring a piece of your heart out there onto, the recording studio floor, or, out onto the stage, which I know you had an opportunity to do around the holidays as well. And it just talk about the difference between being in the theater space where you're singing these songs that have been sung by hundreds of thousands of other people, or to now doing songs that are strictly your own.
Well, that's a phenomenal question. Actually, really, because I have spent the majority of my life performing, doing theaters, headlining showrooms, and I've always done other people's material. And I've been the kind of artist that has never done it quite exactly like the way I don't want to do something that's literally exactly like somebody else. So I've always had the fun and the ability to kind of make a song my own and everything. But once again, I have to find a way to make that song mine before I could sing it. And I love doing it. And there are covers that I will probably sing even when I'm touring, doing my own stuff. I'll take a moment to sing a song that somebody else wrote that I can't write that. It's like it says exactly what I want to say. So I'm gonna serve that song by doing my best on it. But getting up and doing your own is so terrifying because it is a matter of vulnerability, because it's not just a matter of performing the song. Is a song well received? Are the lyrics good? Do they connect? And I did perform a couple shows for during the holidays, and I literally had the worst time in rehearsals because I'm really an emotional person. I write from a space of emotion, and so I I give 100%, whether I'm singing, whether I'm writing. It's like I don't hold back. And I literally started singing a song about our first Christmas together, and the song was called "Our First Christmas." And I got through about 3 lines and started crying. And it wasn't just the song; I was up there doing something I never thought I would ever do again or ever do ever, and that is bring my words and feelings and emotion and past and everything to life. And here I am performing it. It was so emotional because I've wanted to do this for so long. And for a long period of time, I didn't think I had the ability. And, I was told that I wasn't, that I wasn't good enough to do it. And so I kind of retreated. And, and shame on me for doing that. But now I feel so good. I can't wait to get out on stage. I can't wait to perform these songs. In fact, a couple of the songs, I don't know what song you're playing first, but I gave you a song. One of the songs I gave you is the first track to the album that's coming out first, and it's called "No More Fear." And it sounds like an anthem, which I am told I am really good anthem writer. I never thought of that. I always thought I wrote just ballads. But the song, if you really listen to the words, talks about how what I just said moved me to this spot. It talks about, not feeling good enough, always looking at other people on stage instead of wanting to take my spot. And then when I was on stage, that I didn't believe it, or people talked crap about me, or they didn't understand. And so it just kept putting me in the background. And I finally said, no, I've got to move forward. I've got to. And so No More Fear is kind of like, I have 2 anthems that I'm releasing at the beginning of this year. One was I'll Make My Mark, which we did on your other show. And the other one is
we're going to listen to that one again tonight as well. I absolutely love that song.
Oh my gosh.
I think we might save that for the end, because I'll probably be a little puddle of tears by the end of the song, because I have someone who has always strived to make my mark on, and I'm going to do it regardless of what you say or do to me. And I love that that's exactly what the song is about. But I'd love to start with No More Fear. I think we can get into some music here. Great segue. You're getting really good at this podcasting thing, Michael. So yeah, we're gonna air your song. We haven't featured this on any of our shows yet, so this is No More Fear by Michael Cagle. We hope you guys really enjoy it, and we're gonna come back and talk some more music here real shortly. So
thank you.
Enjoy.
I've stood at the edge, hands shaking, heart loud, letting fear whisper, often keeping me in the crowd. All the chances I had, I let slip away. Thought I wasn't ready, but I was just afraid. When successes came knocking, I said it was a fluke. Doubted the proof of all the things I could do. I've had my wins on stage, but jealous words would bite. Made me second guess, kept me from owning my life. No more fear, I'm stepping out tonight. No more doubt, I'm chasing what's mine. I've been losing by standing still. Now I'm ready to climb, feel the thrill. No more fear, it won't define me this time. I thought failing meant the end of the line, but failing's not losing, it's learning in time. All those moments I ignored, thinking they were fake, were pieces of power I'm now ready to take. The risk is real, so is my fire. I've let fear play me, but now I'm higher. No more holding back, I'm breaking free. The world won't wait, so why should I be? No more fear, I'm stepping out tonight. No more doubt, I'm chasing what's mine. I've been losing by standing still. Now I'm ready to climb, to feel the thrill. No more fear, it won't define me this time. I've counted every what if in my head, letting tiny voices keep me from what's ahead. But all those fears are just shadows on the wall. I'm breaking through, I'm ready to risk it all. Every maybe is a chance I take. Every heartbeat is a choice I make. I failed by hiding, but now I see the only real loss is not trying it all. And that's not me. No more fear, I'm stepping out tonight. No more doubt, I'm chasing what's mine. I've been losing by standing still. Now I'm ready to climb, to feel the thrill. No more fear, it won't define me this time. Gonna time, feel the thrill. Gonna time, feel the thrill. Ready, ready, ready to shine.
Absolutely incredible stuff, Michael Cagle. If you're not good enough, then I'm a total hack.
Oh my God.
Just wow. You held that last note for like 12 seconds. I was counting. I'm like, oh, unbelievable. Unbelievable. What a song. And I mean, you're ready. And the avenue for you, and there's so many in, today's, like for me, I'm a bar band, I'm a party band. Very easy for the music that I write and the covers that I play. They fit into that nitty gritty dirt band and Bob Seger and just like feel good Midwestern people songs, and really they travel very well. Country kids, city kids. I do a lot of like Sublime and Rehab, and I really this huge swath of party music, stoner music, hippie music, right? Like that was my world, right? Those are my people. So I know that very well. What your music is perfect for is the sync licensing world. That could have been the title track to a Disney movie, right? And that's where me and your PR manager, my good friend AJ Waller, are really going to start to look for those music supervisors, because your music, the production of it is absolutely perfect. It's ready for that level. And there's a significant revenue stream inside of that without ever having to go and play live. Right. And that's something. So we're going to be doing a deep dive on sync licensing and getting you out there in the world and doing that. Great song. We're going to bring in our co-host, Wild Willie. Willie, welcome in. You're muted on your end. I
know.
All right. Hey, buddy. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Man, look at how good that studio's looking.
I know it's come a long way since day one.
Yeah, brother. Well, Willie, this is Michael Cagle. Michael Cagle, my co-host and one of my best friends in the whole world, Wild Willie Thornton.
Nice to meet you.
You too, buddy.
Willie's actually in school for music production, and he's going to Full Sail. They've recently sent him a whole studio setup that he's been getting in there, dialed in. He's a scholarship student. They've been so impressed with his work that he's been doing. He's gotten a lot of this stuff sent to him gratis, as they would say in Italy and Mexico as well. And he's doing so good. We're so damn proud of you, Willie. I know that
that's amazing.
Yeah, well, it's caused him to take a little bit of a break from being on live with me all the time, but he was a big part of this show starting. He designed the logo and some of the intros that we've done. But, going to school, raising a daughter full time on his own, and just doing so much. But we're so damn proud of you, Willie. It's good to see you, brother.
I appreciate it.
I know you don't get a lot of pats on the back in your life. So from South Dakota to Missouri, a good pat on the back.
Pat a little harder. I didn't feel it on the right side. No, you can't forget remodeling a house in there too, Bubba.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Remodeling a house and moving in and doing everything, designing a studio. And it's really been pretty inspiring to watch you do it all. And I know it hasn't been without its trials and tribulations, but you've come out on the other end. And I think that the No More Fear, I don't know if you got to listen to Michael's song as you were coming in or not. I think that you embody that, the lack of fear in you to go out to try new things. I mean, your podcasting journey started because you're like, hey, I've been thinking about starting a podcast, and I pretty much pushed him right into the deep end, Michael, and said, you're a podcaster now, Willie. You got your own show. You're a big part of my network, and I'm so grateful to have you.
Yeah, actually, Michael was scheduled to be on mine, and then all that happened with the house, and I'd get a hold of him. And
you take your time. When you're ready, I'm excited to jump on.
I appreciate that. You definitely. I'm getting back, as he said. I'm getting the studio together, and
perfect, absolutely perfect.
Well, Willie, I'd love to open the floor for you a little bit and ask Michael a couple of questions before we get into another song. So I'm going to kind of pull myself off the stage and let you two have a little chat.
Right on. Oh, I feel special. So kind of what I talked about on mine, and I'm not going to steal from it. Just how'd you get into music? What gave you the heart? Because I've, obviously you're going to be on my show. Kind of looked up some of your stuff, did a little homework. So how'd you get such a passion for it?
Wow. My parents were both. I'm from New York originally, and both my parents were musicians doing very well on the East Coast, up and down, the East Coast, and so I was around music since my earliest memories was music. And my parents divorced, but the love of music stayed with me. I moved with my mom to Washington when they divorced, but I was listening to music of all kinds. I mean, from country to opera to doo-wop to contemporary pop. I was listening to everything when I was growing up, and music was such an escape for me. And I knew, as someone that was different, and music to me was a place that I could hide and escape to. And so I wanted from an early age to be able to find an avenue that I knew I wanted to perform. I started getting into acting when I was super little, but I knew that I wanted to not only do scripts, I wanted to be able to sing so I could have that opportunity to, bring a lyric to life. And so I pursued that and had a pretty successful, I've been performing live and headlining and doing, one man shows for about 25 years. And we were talking about this earlier. I love performing other songs and covers and making them my own, but I still had a story to tell. And that passion to tell my story and what I've been through, and who I am and what makes me me, I wanted to put down into words and into music. And I didn't do it just because I thought the story was good, but I think a lot of people out there can relate to a lot of what I'm writing, and can get motivated by it, or inspired by it, or fall in love with it, or be able to say, that's exactly how I feel in this moment. And so I write the way that I sing, which is 100% passion and throwing myself into the lyrics, revealing, being honest, having fun at times, that kind of thing. So I guess it's just something that has always stirred in me. It's just been a constant in my life. I remember very vividly both music and movies, and because those two things really not only helped mold me, they also saved me. They prevented me, from doing some really stupid things in some really dark times. So
yeah, you can just see like I said, I looked you up a little bit. You can just hear the passion in it when you sing. And I mean, and me and Bubba, I tell Bubba this all the time when I first met him. I've seen him perform songs, his original songs, and I've seen him perform, Margaritaville. But the way he does it, it doesn't change. Obviously it isn't his story to tell. So obviously, Margaritaville, that's one of them fun, upbeat ones, but right. It's not his story to tell. So the way he can't, I'm not going to say you don't relate to it, but the way it isn't his story, like you said. So, and that makes or breaks a person, and I'm a DJ and a sound guy. So I see that all the time. And then I see these people come and they have writers, and the writers write their own songs or their songs for them. And I'm not knocking that. They're still talented themselves. But you can tell when they don't relate to a lyric that they're singing, because it's like, there's no emotion in it, and it's kind of like, okay, I'm bored.
Right. I think that is, I remember when I first moved to Vegas in 2001, and I was so excited because I got my very, very first gig. Like, I was super excited, and they stuck me on a stage, and I got about 5 songs in, and the casino boss ran up to me and pulled me aside and said, "This isn't going to work." And I'm like, "Why? Look, all these people are sitting, all these people came and they're sitting in their, because I don't know. I didn't know Vegas." And he's like, "No, we didn't hire you for people to come and sit and watch and spend an hour with you. We wanted you to be background noise. This isn't going to work."
You got the wrong guy.
I said, "I'm not background me," and I gave him a CD. I said, when you give us somebody a CD and it's got music from, Phantom of the Opera and, this kind of stuff, what did you think? So
yeah, it sounds like a him problem, much more than a you problem.
In one song, I literally filled this entire kind of lounge area, and I thought, I am kicking ass right now. Man, they're loving me. And the people were so excited, and the casino's like, "No, you're pulling ass.
Nobody is gambling right now. What are you doing?
You're costing me money. What the heck are you doing now?"
You know what?
They couldn't yank you off the stage fast enough.
He paid me for 2 weeks, though. He said, "This is my fault.
Don't you dare come back. Here's your pay."
Go, just get out of here.
So good. Michael got paid to leave. Now, I've been paid to leave before, but for different reasons.
Man, maybe I need some pointers. Getting paid to leave. That's a new line of business there.
Oh my
God! The
goodness,
market
what
on
a
it,
story!
What you're saying is so accurate. As someone that loves to sing and loves to, pour out and perform and lay it all out on the stage, even the covers that I sing have to affect me. Like, I have to have some, like, I couldn't just sing, easygoing background music. The closest that I've got is,
you couldn't do my set list. Is that what you're saying, Michael?
No, but I do because I told you earlier I'm a yacht rock freak, and I have a group called Retro Regatta, which is a yacht rock, and so but even those songs, I have to do the songs that, like, I kind of connect with, but that's as close as I kind of get. And it's cool because, I like yacht rock and everything, but yeah, being able to, as any artist knows, having the amazing opportunity to get up on stage and sing your lyrics and your arrangements and and I think of it as a vision, because when I write a song, I literally sit down with a finished product. I'm weird. I see a finished product first, and that's kind of my director's background, because I have a degree in music theater directing. And so I have to see a finished product first. So I'm hearing this and this and this and this, and then I go down and I lay the arrangement out. And to have the opportunity to get up and do that is, I think, one of the most incredible experiences a person can have.
Yeah, that creation process and getting to bring stuff to fruition like that is such an amazing process. And I haven't done nearly the amount of large shows that I know you have. In your Vegas career, did you move off of the casino floor and then into more like showroom theater type shows then?
This is a cool story. This is a true, honest story. My first showroom gig.
Hey, wait a minute. You said that it's a true, honest story. Was the other one a lie?
No, it was no. Okay, I got you now. I entered a contest, because karaoke was super big, especially in the early 2000s. It was everywhere. And so I entered a contest, and First prize was $2,500 and a week-long gig in a show that was in a showroom. So there was about 168 singers that did this contest. Like, I mean, tremendous. And it went for like, it was a cash cow for the casino because it went for like 3.5 months. Like it just went, and you had to, and so I finally won. I actually won the contest. And so they paid me and they signed me up for the week. And the producer, so upset. The producer who was sponsoring the week long, his wife was having a baby on the night of the finals. So he didn't know who I was when I won, and he was supposed to judge. So I showed up. He had no clue. He was just like, okay, you know, go out and do your thing. And
so you won. Okay, cool. Yeah. Karaoke guy.
Well, yes, I showed up and he's like, you got your songs. And I did 7 or 8 songs a night. And he's like, just go ahead and do your thing. And, you know, and welcome aboard and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay. But I went out there and I did me. And the place, honestly, the place went nuts. And that night he came up to me and he goes, I don't care what your plans are. I'm signing you to a full-time contract with this show. I don't want to lose you. And so based off a singing contest, and from that point on, I did 6 nights a week for 2 years, then got into another showroom, and then started doing the afternoon talent shows for, you know, what we call the gray hairs who like to spend money in the afternoon, but need to be in bed by 6. So we did a show, and I remember when I headlined my first show in a big casino, because I had guested before, but this was going to be my own show. My show sold out in 10 minutes. I was like, and the casino called me and told me, they said, we've not seen this before. But we wanted to let you know your show sold out in 10 minutes. We have no tickets left. I was like, so yeah. And the rest is kind of history, I guess.
So Michael, how long were you in Vegas then, kind of riding that roller coaster?
From 2001, and then I left in 2012, January of 2012, and moved to Nashville.
Of all places.
Me.
So me. You went from one circus to another.
What? Yes.
And one where you fit in very well in Vegas, right? I mean, you are Vegas. Yeah, knowing a little bit about you now that you fit in to that crowd. Maybe you're not a huge gambler, all those things. Maybe you were. That's why you had to leave. But but you fit in very well with the kind of music that's going on there. Nashville is completely different. So talk a little bit about that transition.
It was wild. And the reason why I moved to Nashville was that I had spent so long on me, and JP, my husband, was writing country music, and he started a country band in Vegas. And so when we moved, I said, I want to do something for you. You know, I can always tour. I have festivals that I can go to. I can keep myself busy. I want to do something for you, and I want you to be able to go. So we kind of moved to Nashville for him to write songs and you know, get his feet wet in there. And you know, he fit really well. What saved us is that I answered the right ad at the right time. Again, just fate. And they hired me as an entertainment director for one of the properties in downtown Nashville. So I didn't even have to sing. You know, I was hired to bring people in, and so it was kind of cool. Nashville was really good for me, even though I don't do country. it made me appreciate songwriters. It made me appreciate people that went up there and with a guitar and brought lyrics to life. So I learned so much watching people because like I said, I had a background of performing and, big with bands and orchestras behind me. But to see somebody just raw singing lyrics that they wrote was so amazing. And I loved the originality, that everybody seemed to bring something different to the table. Even though the sound, even though the genre is the same, people found different ways to make those lyrics come alive. So Nashville was good. Nashville as for any performer or anybody, especially songwriter, it's a great place to go. But it just wasn't for me. Just like, because I would go to a place and people would be like, wowed, because I sang at a Predators game when the Predators went to, they made it all the way to like the finals of something. And that tells you how much I was into the Predators, but they knew who I was. And so I literally sang at their block party for like 20,000 people. And everybody's like, who is this guy? Okay, and up there, everybody's doing country, and I go up there and sing, Queen and Rascal Flatts and everything, and whatever. They're probably going, what is this? But it worked. Got to make it work. Got to find a way to make it
work. How incredible. What a career you've had, Michael. And I love that, you have all of this experience to lean on and why you're going to make such a big a part of the Academy. And I love that we're able to pull it out of you now on our podcast and to get this out here because we know you're a phenomenal singer, right? It's easy to listen to one of your songs and go, holy cow, he's so great. But you've really lived it. I mean, you've lived kind of at the top of the heap in a lot of different areas of, streams of revenue, I will call it, inside of the music business, entertainment directing and being the, the man on the stage singing someone else's songs. And now you're kind of coming into this part of your career that you're not really familiar with, right? The original artist side of it, which is so much more raw and vulnerable. And it's just a whole different game, regardless of your experience level as a singer or a songwriter. The grind of it is completely different.
It is. I mean, I don't know what is harder to promote, because the market is so, there's so much talent. And it seems like the younger the person, the more talented they are. It used to, I'm just dumbfounded by, 12, 13, 14-year-olds that are getting up there, grabbing a mic. And I'm like, just wow, where did that come from? To promote yourself as a quote recording artist, everybody is kind of skeptical. And then once again, it is that vulnerability thing because, my first album coming out I think is really good, but it's very personal. So it's kind of like, listening to Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill. That's a very personal album, but yet somehow it clicked because people identified with it. And I think that's how my first album kind of goes is you'll know me by the end of by the end of listening to the entire project. You'll know exactly who I am, what I'm about, what my fears and beliefs and dreams and expectations are. But that's a hard thing to promote, because some people just want, grind, music they can grind and twerk to. And that's obviously nobody is going to pay a dime to see me twerk. Just not going to happen.
I think that's the first twerking reference on the network. So kudos to you, Michael.
I break boundaries.
Listen, you missed in the Vegas thing, and I ain't gonna lie, I haven't had a chance to talk to you a whole lot. And when I popped in and I seen you, that's the first thing that popped in my head.
Oh wow!
Because
really?
In your music,
it might be the shirt, Michael.
No, because it's the persona. It's the persona, and I don't mean it disrespectfully. I can see why you didn't fit in Nashville. Okay. And
it's a different town for sure.
I am a diehard country fan. You know, I ain't gonna lie. But with me being a DJ, obviously I have to be open to other music. I can't be now at home. It's a lot of the older country.
Okay.
But I can see why for someone like you, where you come into they can be almost more closed-minded sometimes. Like they're set in their ways.
They are.
So I can see where the obstacle is that you come in and you're trying not to be somebody different, but trying to put your flair on Nashville.
Yeah. I
think there's a trap to Nashville too, isn't there, Michael? Because everyone is trying to get onto Broadway, and Broadway wants a very cookie cutterish song, and pop radio wants a very cookie cutterish song. But the people who actually break out of Nashville are the ones who are different, who break that mold.
It is, and I think that's why I said I everywhere I go, everybody that I listen to, I try to glean something from them. Like, they've lived a life that I haven't lived. They've experienced things that I haven't experienced. They've gone farther in areas that I haven't. So I always look at that. And, you know, going to Nashville, it was a different town. They were very welcoming, but you could tell they didn't, for me, I knew they weren't going to know what to do with me.
No, exactly that. It wasn't that they didn't like you. They were just like,
what do we do?
Yeah, we don't know where to put
What's next? What's next, guys?
We don't have those kind of stages around here, man. Like, this isn't that kind of town. Like, you're awesome. You're absolutely incredible. But
truthfully told, they probably
the Bluebird isn't built for Michael Cagle belting ballads.
And then I look at somebody like, I look at somebody like Chris Stapleton and, Jelly Roll. They're kind of different. They're not mainstream country. That, there's some flair there. There's obviously some obvious, but they have been able to expand the boundaries a little bit and make the box a little bit bigger. So I just, I think it was always my choice of material, and the way I go about things, the way that you just don't, first of all, you don't expect to see it, you just don't. And that's okay. Like I was telling, Bubba early in the show, the greatest piece of advice I ever got from someone was when he said, stop trying to please everybody, recognize everybody's not going to like you, and be the best you can be. Go out there and you will find your fans. You will find your audience. You will find the people that connect and identify with you. That's who you sing for. You don't sing to get 100%, positive response, because nobody going to get that. I know people that, like I know people that couldn't stand the way, Whitney Houston sings. And I'm like, what?
Don't talk to me anymore.
We're not friends. Get out of here.
Right. If if those people who are amazing artists have people that don't like them, why am I going to be any different? I just be me. And so I'm learning that, it's hard because I'm one of these people that 500 people can come up to me and say, you're great, you did a good job. And 2 people will go, it was okay. And
they're not even hating. They're just like, meh.
And it's the 2 people who went, that I focus on.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
Yeah,
I think it's the life of an artist, right? And Willie, I know you don't consider yourself one. You are. You're going to be someone who helps a lot of other artists along in your career. I love that you've taken this path of music production and building this studio, not just for podcasting, but to produce musicians and to learn the things behind the, behind the computer and behind the scenes, to eventually we're going to build you a beautiful studio there in the middle of Missouri that we can bring so many artists into, and to be able to land them there and create beautiful music and have you capture every bit of it. There is an artistry to that, and you're going to learn that. What's really cool about it is that, like, we get to watch it evolve live on the air over the course of the next decades, right? And to watch you become who you were meant to be. That to me is really fun, but it is just as much an artistry as what Michael or I do on a stage.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing. Going to school has changed my outlook on that, because, like, when we met, I told you all the time, I'm just a sound guy. I'm not an artist. And it's not that I didn't think I was doing my job. It's just I felt the artist was the reason everybody came. Okay, so then I realized, and through my schooling, like, I love this new class I'm in, because they're actually breaking down the EQs and the, compressions and the different rhythm, taking out and adjusting. In fact, in the class an assignment I just completed, we took a cardboard box and a wooden spoon and turned it into sounding like a kick drum.
Love it.
So
that's incredible.
It's teaching me things that for a long time I sold myself short, and I'm realizing this. And I was kind of laughing when Michael was talking, because I also had someone give me that same piece of advice.
Good.
And he happens to be one of my best friends now. Huh, Bubba?
Hey, I heard it from someone else, and it was actually an actor, and he was the host of a business conference that I was at, and I've recited this several times on the show now, but I think it bears repeating, that 30% of people are just not going to like you. You remind them of their ex-boyfriend, girlfriend, they're this guy that bullied them in high school or whatever. Like, they're just not going to like you. 30% of people are just, like, not going to give a shit at all, right? They're going to be the mass. They just don't care, right? They're indifferent. And then there's going to be, another 30 or 40% that are going to love you. Go find that percentage, right? Go find your 30% and just feed into that as much as you can, and you'll watch the numbers of that grow. And that was really powerful to me, because I've always been someone that was trying to please everyone, or please a wide range, right? My set list kind of endears that, and years of playing in bars where you had a wide swath of people in there, and you're trying to do a job, right? I want to do a service to the club that I'm playing at, to serve as many of those people. Obviously, Willie, you can relate to this on the DJ side, that if I'm walking into a country bar, I'm not just going to throw hardcore rap at them all night and expect to be hired back, right? So I had to learn how to, one, have a repertoire that was varied enough, and then being able to choose chunks of that, of songs that I still enjoyed, but that would fit into the the subculture of wherever I was at. Because some bars, even if they're in a country town, can be a little bit more rock skewed. Well, I kind of have that, and I can mold this set list. Isn't set in stone. It's very malleable, and having a lot of songs to shoot from the hip with all the time, and having, band members that were willing to go on that ride with me night after night was always a big key to me. But once I really, settled into, like, well, I don't have to play every song. Like, I love to play some Brooks and Dunn song, but I don't like doing Neon Moon, right? Like, that's just not me. That's not a song. So, I mean, if you're willing to write it on the back of $100 bill and drop it in the tip jar, sure, I'll take a stab at it. But it's not in the set list where, boot scootin' boogie that everybody gets out on the damn floor and line dances to. Bro, I don't go a night without playing that song. And it's not even that, like, I like it. I love a good little, kind of boogie woogie tune like it is, but I also know that it's going to bring the energy in the room up a notch when you get everybody out there dancing. So that's kind of where I find my love to things too. It doesn't always have to be necessarily like the song or the delivery of the song. It can be how I know that song is going to affect the room and the people inside of it as well.
Oh yeah, I've learned that as a DJ. Like, and you got them songs across the board. It ain't just country. Like, and believe it or not, a big one is Billie Jean. That is a huge song now, where because there've been so many different social platform dances to it, and it's a song that has resurfaced, and
it never went away, Willie. I'm just going to be perfectly honest. Michael Jackson will not ever be out of style. And you know what? The great part about that is that he always produced his music with a live band. It was always live bands. It was never electronics in there and writing. And I think a lot like you, Michael, and we're talking about someone who obviously grew up in the industry, one of the best to ever do it. They don't call you the king of pop for nothing, right? But
the greatest.
That Thriller album has some of the best music on it. I mean, still to this day, and Eddie Van Halen's, lead in just incredible, incredible,
and so smart. He was so smart. He knew the audience that he wanted. He was like, I don't want to be defined as a black artist. I don't want best male black pop artist. I want to create music. And he went after, because he knew that putting Eddie Van Halen on Beat It, and when the video debuted on MTV, this is how bad it was. When that video debuted on MTV, Michael Jackson was a sub-thought. They actually advertised it as an Eddie Van Halen appearance in a video, and that's how they marketed that video at first. And of course, then the explosion, obviously. But he knew as good as I am, there's going to be limitations of where I can go. And so I'm going to make sure that I bring everything that I can to the party, including someone that is accepted by the audience I'm listening to. Brilliant. Absolutely. He, as good a singer as he was a shrewd business person. He knew the industry. He knew what he had to do, and I'm glad. I have so much respect for that, because it's tough. The industry is tough. And as much as we try to pretend like there's not biases and prejudices against, there is, and as good as your music can be, there's always going to be people that look through it with their eyes and not their ears. And that's just a true nature of the beast.
That bass line is so sick too.
Yeah. I mean, but okay, listen, guys, you don't know this, Michael, but Bubba does. I live in a very rural area. So
there's a reason it's called Backwoods Productions, Michael.
Yes, that's the reason
his address.
Listen, I'll get into that in a minute. But so when it resurfaced, like, okay, maybe it's always been there, but when I went through my divorce, I took up line dancing. And I've always wanted to do it. My ex-wife wouldn't let me because we had more important things, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, so
there are no more important things than dancing. Just to put that out there.
No, call me a dancing queen. Leave me alone. No. But anyway.
That's what they call Michael.
You've not seen me dance.
But anyway, you take songs and, I'm not taken away from him at all, because like you said, who wanted to get to, he knew what he went through it. One of my favorite songs of all time is Man in the Mirror, and I tell everybody that song got me through my divorce, because You know, the narcissistic of my marriage, and Bubba knows more than most. Like, we've become really good friends, more family than friends, to be honest. That song helped me get through my divorce because it realized I didn't like who I was and I needed to change. And the only way I could change it started with me. So once I got a hold of that, I was just like, rocket to the moon. And here I was, you know, and me as a person or as a podcaster or as a DJ would not be where I am because of songs like that. And that's why my show, you know, we talked about it, it's hit so hard because one way or another, music has saved every person in this country, in the world, not just the country, in the world.
It's literally fed me when I was sleeping on the streets. Like, I don't know how much more saving a person needs. It's fed my family. It has been everything and more to me. Michael, you talked about, you know, some dark times, and obviously growing up a gay man in this country has not been easy for anyone. And I can only imagine how music and the theater and having a community that did see you, you know, as a human being and as exactly who you were, and being okay with that, right?
It was. I mean, it is. I think. Well, I know if it wasn't for theater and music, in all honesty, I wouldn't be here today. Can tell you that honestly, without hesitation, because I just happened to stumble into the right place at the right time, and it saved me that night. And I had no plan, didn't know anything about it, wasn't anything I expected. It just was destiny, and it like saved my life. And from that moment on, I was like, you know, I will never allow myself to get into that kind of dark space again. And I will try to, and music and theater and my imagination helped me. I mean, it just literally pulled me out of some, well, not only dark places, but, you know, situations where I was just done, because it was a very tough, dark time. And, you know, and I carry that with me. Yeah. I can't wait for people to, especially like you guys, now that you're knowing me and hearing me, when you hear my first album, you said Man in the Mirror, which I absolutely love. Like, I just think that song is amazing. And I actually wrote a song called on this album, on the first album, called Mirror of the Soul. And it talks about how, you know, we pretend, you know, we dye our hair, we put on makeup, we put on wrinkle cream, we do this and this, but it doesn't actually hide the darkness of your character. It doesn't hide the things you don't want the world to see. And it's amazing song. And when you were like doing that, I'm like, oh my God, I want to do this song. Because it's like, I agree. It was like music. Yeah. I'm having such a good time tonight.
Yeah, I can't wait till you get a chance to go on Willie's show and to really deep dive into some of those stories and that. Let's get to some more music, Michael. I think this is a great transition into Unbroken in Your Light. Can you tell us a little bit about the song and share a little bit with us?
The title of my album is Confessions of a Broken. The first album coming out is called Confessions of a Broken Child. And I was in a really bad spot, going through some financial issues and struggles, and just trying. I hadn't yet kicked off the albums and started recording anything. And I was in a conversation, and I said, I really have to deal with my past, because what's been in my past is affecting who I am now. And so the first line of the chorus is true healing from the past means not leaving. Oh, anyway, you'll hear it. The first line is the first part of the song, which kicked the song off. And it talks about if we're truly healed, then we need to move forward. We can't live in the past, but we carry things with us, and we have to acknowledge that. We have to realize that the things that happened to us in our past, even though we don't want to live there, helped shape us. They're things we have to live with. We have to live with scars. We have to live with the demons that we exorcised, but they were still there. And so this song is kind of a tribute to the love that I have, because you'll hear it. You'll understand it now. But that's kind of where this song comes from. It's me. This is like one of those raw songs is me, and you'll hear my heart.
Incredible. Well, this is Unbroken in Your Light by Michael Cagle.
I didn't come to you perfect. I came with cracks I tried to hide, carrying pieces of the life I never asked for, pieces that still wake me up some nights. I've been stubborn when I should have been soft, closed off when I should have let you in. But you stayed even when my storms rolled through. You've held my hand and called me home again. True healing from the past means not leaning on it like an excuse. It's standing here raw and open, letting the stars show, but not letting them choose. I'm a work in progress, and every day's a win. Because you're still here, believing in me again. Thank you for loving me through my fire and my fight. I'm yours, undying, unbroken in your life. You've given space to all my wild ideas. You caught me when I jumped too soon. You've let me dream without a ceiling, even when the world thought I was a fool. And you never made me feel too much, never made me feel like I had to change. You just stand there, steady and sure, while I learn how to give my love without chains. True healing from the past means not leaning on it like an excuse. It's standing here raw and open, letting the scars show, but not letting them choose. I'm a work in progress, every day's a win, because you're still here believing in me again. Thank you for loving me through my fire and my fight. I'm yours, undying, unbroken in your light. If love is a home, you built it with your hands. If Trust is a song you taught me how to sing. And every time I start to doubt myself, you remind me what forever really means. True healing from the past means looking forward more than I look behind. It's giving you my best, even when I'm tired, because I know your heart is still holding mine. I'm a work in progress, but I'll fight for us. Every day's a victory because I've got your trust. Thank you for loving me through the dark and the light. I'm yours and dying, unbroken in your light.
Another absolutely incredible track there, Michael. What a song and what a moment in your yeah. So this is my good friend Preston Jones. We make music together. We did some time together. And yeah, I can't agree more. So this track is giving me goosebumps. He says it's putting me in the same place I go when I'm making electronic music. I feel everything you are saying. Shout out to you, Jonesy. Thanks for tuning in, brother. Now you've brought me to tears. Very beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Indeed. Indeed. Cannot agree more. Jonesy, appreciate you tuning in, brother. I miss you. I know we haven't had a lot of time to connect lately, but yeah, Michael is a new friend. He's becoming part of the Scene Projects family, and absolutely incredible getting to learn more about you, getting to watch you be vulnerable, right? It's easy to come on and to laugh with me and AJ on Unsigned Spotlight and to be absolutely silly, but to come on here and to share these songs with the stories right behind them is incredibly powerful, and you're incredibly brave to do so. I know how much this meant to you, kind of watching you experience all the emotions, listening to it now, going out into the world. And I know that it's going to change other people's lives because they're going to feel seen by this, and that is the true power of music, and why it was so it's so necessary for us songwriters, of which you definitely are one, Michael, to put it out there, because music speaks for us, right? When words fail, music speaks. And you know, another t-shirt that I have in the bunch is, you know, music is what feelings sound like. And every insert sappy quote here, right? But it's so true. And there's a reason that these, you know, cliches are absolutely 100% true, because not everyone has this gift, and it truly is a gift to be able to take the way that we feel and to put them out into words, and then having the dream of the music around them. And it's a gift that's meant to be shared and not hidden away. And you know, I feel a lot of that because I have songs that have only lived in here, and I've played them out live, but I've never had the wherewithal to bring them out into the world. And I did that with my EP this year. So in so many ways, I feel all the emotions that you feel listening to your songs. And it's probably what makes our show and our network a lot different than other shows, is because we're right here with you. I wish I could come all the way to Seattle and give you a big hug right now, Michael.
But I'm feeling good.
Yeah. Oh, Willie, what'd you think? That was your first chance. I know you've probably had a chance to listen to some of his tracks at home, but What do you think of our friend Michael and this beautiful music that he's making? You're muted.
You're muted.
My bad. I didn't realize I was muted. First off, such an incredible song. Bubba knows me better than most. That one put me, deep into my emotions.
Yeah, you're not the only grown man crying right now, Michael. I know I'm containing myself quite well.
I did cry. If you go back and watch it, I wiped my eyes several times while the song was playing. But you know what? That's a mold we need to break. But such an incredible, every lyric hit differently. That was something I had to deal with as well. So to hear the passion and the story behind the lyrics, even if you didn't tell us what was it about, you could tell it was about overcoming something that was bigger than you or me. And I'm gonna need this song sent emailed to me. That way, when I need a good cry, I think I found my new cry song. Okay.
Yeah. I cannot tell you what this moment really means. Like, we're doing a podcast, and this is like one of the greatest moments, really, musically, that I've ever experienced, because nobody's heard that song. And so all the songs that I've given you tonight are released or being played for the first time. And this song is so special to me. And I wrote it because I can't be the only one that has felt like that. Like, somebody or something, or there's, we've gone through stuff that we keep to ourselves, that no matter how strong we try to be, have kept us up, woke us up in the middle of the night, or stopped us from taking the next step forward. And to hear your reaction is really an amazing gift, because you actually shared yourself how you feel. And so that means everything.
Yeah, it's just an incredible song. I mean, it takes that, maybe I hit it a little bit. I don't know. I didn't intentionally do it, but look, Bubba's cat's back. He liked it too.
Meow, meow, meow.
Yeah,
but
she sure did.
But it normalizes breaking that mold that society has put on us, especially as men.
Men.
Yes. Men don't cry and men don't show emotion. And
it's not only that they're not allowed to, and that they shouldn't.
Or suck it up. Suck it up philosophy is more or less what it is. Oh, it's a long way from your heart. Suck it up, So for me, that's what really resonates, is because growing up in a lot of that, it was able to, I wholeheartedly, I could relate and tell that, you can tell the turmoil that you went through in that song, and that maybe I was that person that I didn't have that person stick by me, but know what? It gives me hope that I'm going to find that person that's going to stick by me while I'm overcoming whatever I'm overcoming. So there's all sorts of emotion that goes into that song, at least on my side of it, and honestly, I'll probably listen to it again, because I have to listen to a song twice.
Okay.
Because for one, I listen to the lyrics and then I switch to the rhythm of the music and all that goes into it.
Yeah.
So sometimes I forget to listen to all the lyrics because I'm paying attention to other stuff. So I will have to go back and listen to it again, to be completely honest.
I'll send you an MP3. Give me, reach out, send me an email, and I'll send you the MP3 so that you can have the track.
Awesome. And I'll put that in my music folder I have, that when I'm DJing and I do funerals and I do all that, and that.
Oh, you're gonna love my album then.
I think, Bubba, I made a new best friend. You're gonna have to share me.
Well, and that's, I was really glad to have Michael on. I really didn't have a guest planned, but when Willie said that he was going to be back this week, and because of everything that he's had going on, he hasn't been co-hosting with me, and I kind of took a little break over the holidays anyway, and then bringing the show back last week, kind of for our first time this season. And we had Dalton Jones on, who had been a previous guest on the show, but he had some new music to share. And I really had no plan for today at all. And I messaged you at like 4 o'clock, like, hey, what are you doing in an hour? You know, would you mind coming on and having some of your music to share and hanging out with us for a bit? And I really selfishly, I wanted a chance to get to know you better. It's the Unsigned Spotlight show is just so much different. It's a 1 hour show. It's a very tight kind of format. We're sharing a lot more music, and we're sharing other people's music. It's not necessarily about the artist is you're in more of a co-hosting role there, talking about everyone else, rather than us getting the chance to talk about you. So with you becoming a bigger part of everything that we're doing, I wanted an opportunity to get to know you better and to get to know these songs. And I'd love to know actually more about the production of the album. Now, is this all real instrumentation? Like, where did you guys record it at? How was it all kind of put together?
Well, it's a little bit of everything. The arrangements are all mine. And then,
so are you writing like on sheet music out everything? And
oh yeah.
So see, I don't have that at all. Like I can write the music and the chords on my guitar, and I can kind of tell someone.
I'm not that good. Like I have the chords but no, I'm not. And that, I'm not. Ooh, child, no, I'm not that good.
Don't sell yourself short.
We use I run off Cubase, so that's my DAW, and we take advantage of everything from Doubler, which creates instrumentation, and the plugins, and purchase beats, everything, because I want to make sure the vision isn't not what I hear in my head.
So this is recorded at home in your guys' home studio?
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Absolutely
the
mind-blowing.
The production is, this has been a 2-year labor. And we have, some of the stuff we have sent out to have people record the part that just it wasn't coming, because you can only get so much with plugins and MIDI and that kind of thing. So we went out to Fiverr and said, sent them what we had, and said we want the sound to be this instead of what it's coming up. So it's been a work in progress. And Jason was the engineer, and we sat next to each other and mixed it together, but his ear was spot on. Like he was like, this is what we need. And he fought with me on some things, and I fought with him on some things. But ultimately he said, it's your song, but this is what I think would be better. And we just had to trust, but it was 12-hour days, over and over and over. And, I'm still nitpicky, because there's still things that I don't like. Are you using Serum in Cubase? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I will use it. Preston produces, he's a drummer, and that's where we actually met, was actually in the Full Gospel band when we were both, locked away for a couple of years together. And so I was actually playing bass in that because they had enough guitar players already, but it gave me an opportunity to form this relationship. But Preston produces a lot of electronic music. I mean, tracks on tracks. He's probably got hundreds of tracks at this point where it just pours out of him. Every day he's able to get behind the computer and just send it. He sent me a file that's probably got 150 in it. And that was last year.
And I wish I could do that. I wish that I could sit down and know everything that there is to know. Like, and the market is flooded with so many things now too. And I did, it's not that I didn't want to use real instrumentation, and some of it is. I mean, some of the piano
that can get expensive really quick too.
It would, because I don't.
These are huge arrangements, massive.
Right, and so I just wanted to try to keep it as much within my hands. And then when it wasn't, I was like, okay, is it worth paying $50 to have someone really take this, chord arrangement and, sounds and have somebody else do it when I'm not getting the sound that I want? Of course, but it is amazing what you can do now. I've seen people put a song together in, 15 to 20 minutes on, knowing what they're doing. And I'm not there.
Yeah, I'm not there either. That's my goal one day. That I did.
That's my goal one day.
Yeah, I'm really counting on Willie getting his thing done so I could get more of these songs out and in there. And I was very fortunate to have some, obviously I have this massive network of musicians, and my friend Tom Freer, who played drums and some guitar. He also engineered my latest album and really helped me put it all together. And I couldn't do it without him. I mean, he's been a part of all the music that I've put out in one way or the other. And I mean, to do it at, maybe $30 an hour or something that he charges me to do it, right? Which is just an insanely low bar, but he really loves to be a part of that creation and never charges me for, playing the music on top of it. But without him, I would never have what I've gotten out there now. And to be able to call some of my friends who are some of the best musicians that I know and to have them be happy just to be on the record and to help me make some art and to do that is completely invaluable to me, because I could never get me out and on there. And I feel a lot like, this album to you, I know is very personal, and it's an introduction. And I feel that way about the 5-song EP that we put together, where I've been able to say, like, this is in a way that maybe my early album that I released in 2010, which was rushed and just didn't come off in all the ways that it should have. You could tell it was kind of a hack job, and it cost us a boatload of money that, my dad invested into it. And then to get out with something at the end of the day that I didn't even want to show to people. Right. And I don't talk about it, and it's not out there on streaming networks and really available. And while it was fun in that moment as someone who is just starting out at 22, 23 years old, to have those songs out, it wasn't something that I could be proud of 10, 15 years later.
Right.
And now to have this one, I know I'm going to look back on this EP, long time coming, and to know that we had done it and had done it right finally, and had done it how I wanted to, with people that I just adore in every way, and to make something that I'm truly proud of and I get to share. And you've gotten to hear some of that on the intros to this song. And that was a song I wrote when I found out that my granny, the cancer she'd beaten 20 years ago, was back. It was aggressive, and it was like that. That's why it's all about time, right? Time's everlasting, but time never lasts. And you think that you have so much of it left in the bottle, right? And that it's not. It is always fleeting. And it starts pouring out, and being able to tell that song, but not to have it be a sad song, right? To have it be full of energy and life, because I want you to be invigorated to go live yours. Right? Like, don't take these moments for granted. Please go live your life, go do the thing, create, and to be everything. And Thank you. Hey, shout out to the kids for listening. Hey, shout out to Phoenix and Ariana, Preston's kids. Shout out to Monkey too. I can hear her in the background. I know she loves listening to her Uncle Bubba, whether it's just me blabbing on the podcast or actually getting to listen to the music. I appreciate it, and I appreciate this community. We talk about it all the time, but this family that we're building of creators and creatives is only going to continue to grow and to become stronger and to make music together and to tour together and like all of the things, right? Like that's what this is about. Yeah. Well, we got a way to do that. You're going to leave me a perfect area to shameless plug in here. Shout out to Music Mogul AI. They are sponsoring our national tour. My good friend, Brad Stewart, who we've worked very closely with now for the last couple of months, helping us to really bring this together. Brad has been a booking agent for 25 years in Nashville, putting bands on the road with real business plans and real, this is how you do it, right? And he's been such a blessing to me to have that experience to lean on and to say, okay, like, this is my big idea. This is like what I want to do. Like, how the hell do we get there? Because I'm new and I've booked my own shows my entire life, which, Michael, I'm sure you can relate that you've done a lot of your own booking and managing yourself and your career. But to then take that out onto the road, to book yourself on even a 2-week tour, which, on road standards isn't very long at all. We were talking to the tour bus guy today before we jumped on here, and, he had just had one of his buses come off a 5-month tour.
Oh,
well, I don't know that we'll ever get there, but that sounds exhausting.
I'm tired after a weekend of running sound. 5 months. But no,
it's a different world, man. It's a different world out there.
I'm hoping to make a splash in that world.
You will.
You're right.
You really will. And I have to reiterate, going back to what Bubba said about you being an artist. I have stepped on many a stage, primed and ready to sing, and the sound man has made or broke that event. Literally, like, suck the air right out of the atmosphere, and he left.
No. I just put him backstage. I didn't know if he was having to deal with the kid yelling and if he was going to have to leave or not. He's good.
I gotcha. Me
and Willie have been together on enough shows now, Michael, where I can tell when he might have to disappear to go be daddy for a little bit. So this is my production superpower just coming into play.
Yeah, but I literally, and any singer has a sound person can really make or break the entire event. It just, the mic isn't right. It's not picking up right. It's not, the sound isn't there. And one thing about the way that I sing is obviously I have a lot of power. And
that's hard to dial in as someone who in the same, not to the same degree as you, but that's how I say. I sing loud. I sing like I'm still on the street busking, Michael, and you kind of have to deal with it. And thank God for my wife, Danielle, who started running sound for us with the band kind of in this reboot, because a lot of times I was running sound from the stage by myself. I didn't have ears out there. I didn't have the in-ear mic. I didn't have the monitors and everything going, and you're just trying to run this raucous rock band where everybody's drinking and the amps are getting louder and louder and louder, and being able to run that from the stage is hard.
Do you like in-ears better than stage monitors?
I think because I have more experience with the stage monitors that I kind of prefer that. I like the feeling of it better. I understand now that, like, having the in-ear monitors. So what I would probably do moving forward now is to have like one in-ear and then to still be able to hear the sound. But that can also cause a lot of hearing damage, which is going to impact your career in the long term, right? Yeah. But you know, I'm always talking to the guys in the band on stage, and I know that you can put a stage mic on and have that thing. I was getting used to it as we were gigging more in 2024. I was getting more used to the in-ear monitors, but they were also causing issues that, you know, I'm kind of fidgeting with them all the time, or my ear, you know, my ear canal, not having ones that are molded for my ears, right? And having where sometimes I would start singing and it would close my ear canal off, and then I can't hear myself anyway. Right. So that's where it was just different. And I've never had like a $3,000 pair of molded in-ears. And
I guess I'm old school. I love the floor monitor. I just love being able to have that sound coming up from there. And it just, for me, it helps me control my mic, because I do sing big, but my songs tend to build. So I get sound people that are uneducated that are like, okay, he sings big, so we're going to just turn him down immediately. And they don't give me a chance to show that I know mic etiquette. Like, I know how to pull a mic away and not, you know, so they're just like, they assume, oh, he sings loud, I'm gonna turn the mic down. And then within 4 songs, because my songs are so damn demanding, I'm dying, you know,
right,
because I'm pushing so hard.
And I've done that to myself, right? Where like, where I've been like, I'm having to push so much harder now on my vocals. And I will say that having the in-ears definitely helped me in that regard on the singing part, right? It definitely assisted me in that. I could save my voice a little bit more because I could actually hear myself, because when you're on stage with a band, especially playing small rooms with a drummer who's got to hit them as hard as they possibly can, the bass players turning their stuff up. And that's a big problem with me with playing with people who drink on stage, is that your ears are some of the first things to go. And, you know, because we live in South Dakota and I don't have access to you know, professional musicians, I'm playing with a lot of weekend warriors, I would call them, right, who are competent players but aren't a necessary professional on that level, right? Do they get paid to do what they do? Yes, but I think there's levels to this, as I'm sure you're well aware of, Michael. And I haven't always played with the utmost professionals in anything that I've done, so it's been a learning experience for me too. It's probably part of the reason that I don't want to play music as much as I do until I kind of get to that level. Like, how do I do something else to get to that attained level where I can just hire professionals, the best of the best, to be behind me to learn my songs, and then I can just go out there and perform to the best of my ability and have a much better quality show.
See, as a sound guy, I hate in-ear monitors.
Okay.
Because you're okay.
Your tummy hurts, Daddy. You better go take care of that.
Because I can't hear what they're hearing. So, and what you hear out front of the stage is different than what they hear on stage. So, because you enlighten it a little more in some aspects, so they can hear the vocals better, or they can hear whatever better. So you're not hearing that, so you're trying to have to guess what they're hearing. So as a sound guy,
yeah, that's a relationship thing for sure. Willie, you can go take care of the monkey, man. I think we're gonna play one more song. We've been here for almost an hour and 40 minutes, so we got to start to wrap the show up. I know that we have just an incredible track. I've heard this one already, so I know what to expect. I can get the tissues ready. This is we're gonna listen to "I'll Make My Mark," Michael, and I want to give you a chance to kind of give us a little bit, you know, behind the song on this one.
Well, this song was written not about people talking or my own doubts and my own fears or whatever. This song was about taking the next step. And I say this really humbly. I've had a really good life as an entertainer. There are many accomplishments that I've made and that I've experienced that am so proud of, and a lot of people will never be able to say they did that. I mean, that's just
Yeah, as a performer, I'm a little jealous of some of the things you've gotten to experience. Although I've performed on an amphitheater stage for 3,000. My problem is, Michael, is that like I don't need that like repetitively. I've done it. I got to perform out at this amphitheater 3 different years in a row at our Levitt Amphitheater, which Preston alluded to. And then we got all the PBS filmed it and we got all the footage. So it's like, I don't necessarily need to go back and live that moment on stage over and over and over again. I'm such a like junkie for new experiences. Right. And it's like, now that I've played that level, now a theater obviously would be a little different, a headlining act, rather than the opener. But I got to play my original music in front of 3,000 people that went absolutely bananas when they heard it. Right. So, but you have got to play in some amazing places and to have some really incredible experiences out there. It's got to be really something to look back on and to feel very accomplished about.
And I don't take away any of the sense of excitement or how blessed I really feel I am. And I really do. I really feel like I've been able to achieve and do some things that I couldn't believe at the time, but I knew there was more. And I think that this song talks about that. It talks about looking at the things that we accomplished and saying, I'm really proud of them. But I know people that have like done things like 10 or 12 years ago, and they've not done anything since, and they're still living and back there. Like, this was my one accomplishment. And yes, it's a big accomplishment and you should feel great about it. But if you're staying in the past, that means that entire future laid out before you, you're never going to get to experience.
It's something that one of, a mentor that, he's a mentor for a lot of people. Andy Frisella started the 75 Hard thing. And he has a company called First Form, a podcast called Real AF. And really someone that just listening to his podcast kind of set me on my path, right? It was as simple as, I think he said one time, I was a little bit, overweight. I was drinking a lot of beer, welding and just kind of living a different life. And, I'm the oldest of 3 boys. And it was so simple that he's like, hey, if you don't like the way you look, and you're overeating and you're drinking too much, like stop putting shit in your mouth. And I was like, whoa. And he's just on a podcast that's going out to the world and thousands of listeners. And I was like, that's the first time that anyone's ever, like, I've ever heard someone just say that. Yeah. And I felt that, right. And realizing that while they weren't my glory days, that I was living in the past in a lot of other ways, right? And you kind of alluded to that with the other song that we listened to, Unbroken in Your Light, I think kind of touches on that you had to be able to let go of the things that were hurting you as well to heal and to let go of that story. And podcasting has really been my avenue to do that. But one of his messages this week, he has what they call an Andygram that goes out, every couple of days, not necessarily every day, but it was literally the tagline was stop living in your glory days. And if you're living back there, then you're never going to be as great as you were meant to be. And people that are the prom king and the champion, the state champion and all these things, you get caught in that trap and you never grow as a human being past that. And,
you have described the song perfectly. I mean, literally, it's like, everybody has, and we hope, but I assume everybody has something that they've done that they worked really hard at and they've achieved. And that's not ever to say that's not something to go back and be proud of, like acknowledge it and just feel good. You worked, you trained or you competed and you finally, you got this, but it's time to move on as well. And that's what kind of this song talks about is I can look at, the line, the trophies on the mantle don't shine like they used to, because time is moving forward. And if I'm truly going to be all that I want to be,
It sits back on the mantle. I dust it off once in a while, but in so many ways, this award and getting to stand up on that stage in front of all of my friends in the Midwest Country Music Organization was not even a recognition of what I had done. It was an introduction to who I am. Right? Like, thank you for recognizing me for this, especially because it's voted on by the members, and those members had all been guests on my show. Not everyone, but everyone had that door open to them, and to see, to be recognized for that, and now to see what it's done for us out in the world again. And I said it at the time that, like, this is just the start. This is permission to go out and to finally become that person, more so than a pat on the back, right? It was a get your ass to work.
Right.
Earn that now.
If 12 years from now, you don't have any legacy from that point on, then it didn't help you. It literally, you stopped and you built a monument and a shrine to that. And so many people do that. Like, it's just like, and I felt the same way about, I could sit back and go, I can coast now, but I wasn't happy because there was a yearning and there were still things that I knew inside me that had to be said. And that, the line in the song, I've told the world my story, but have I told it to myself? There's more. So this song, I think, in all honesty, is, as far as personal, from a personal aspect, I think this song is the one that I'm the most proud of, because I didn't want to write it as, I went out of my way to not write it as a chorus, verse kind of thing. I said, I want to take the song on how I feel. And so there's no chorus. There's no hook. It's all story progression, and it just builds on that. And to me, it's like, this is probably one of the songs that I'm absolutely the most proud of, just because I threw away convention and went totally Michael. And so that's kind of what there is.
Willie, you jumped back in. Did you want to add anything before we play this?
No, I just jumped back in because I got her content. So
all right, good deal. Well, this is I'll Make My Mark by Michael Cagle. Sit back and enjoy. This is going to be a great track. Jeremy Cosby, I see you in the chat there. I'm going to answer that question when we come back from this song. This is I'll Make My Mark by Michael Cagle.
I've been walking down the corridors of memory, dusting off the trophies I once won. Every picture frame reminds me where I used to be, but yesterday's battle has already been done. And the medals on the mantle, they don't shine the way they did. Time keeps moving forward. I can't live on what once lived. Yes, it's fine to hold the stories, but they're not the life I lead. If I'm clinging to the glories, I'll forget what I still need. So I'll rise with the morning, let the old fade away. This heart isn't finished, no, it beats for today. I won't hide in the shadows of the echoes I've made. It's a brand new beginning, and it's time I make my mark today. I've stumbled, I've soared, I've I've been broken, I've been praised, but the past can't be the place where I remain. Every sunrise says the future's yet to be raised, and the fire in my chest still calls my name. And the world is still turning, it's not waiting for me. If I don't step into the moment, I'll miss who I could be. I've told the world a story, but have I told it to me? No crown, no faded glory will decide who I will be. I can't keep chasing yesterdays when tomorrow's calling out. So I'll rise with the morning, let the old fade away. This voice isn't finished, I've got something to say. Not defined by the echoes or the marks that I've made. I'll begin with this moment, and I'll claim my brand new day. The past is a chapter, the future's the spark. The curtain is rising, and tonight I'll make my move. Yes, tonight I'll make my
Just unbelievable, Michael. Unbelievable. I'm blown away by the just everything about it. The orchestry of the songs, obviously the power of your voice. You absolutely earn the ballad belter, right? Preston says your voice is very powerful and moving. My goodness, I haven't heard all your songs, Michael, but the ones I have heard need to be scored for a movie that hasn't been made yet. Bravo, bravo, bravo.
Thank you. Thank you.
And really, that's why we touched on sync licensing a little bit tonight. And really, we need to start shopping your stuff around this entire album to music supervisors, because they are made for those moments, and they're out there looking for them actively. And what a great way to get these songs out there. They deserve it, because obviously there's not a home on pop radio for any of these songs, right? Like they're so much bigger than just being on a radio song, but that doesn't mean that they don't have a place out in the world, right? And the stage that they deserve is so much bigger. And it's really incredible that we get to share it here on our show. It will always have a place at the Scene Projects and everything that we do, but absolutely blown away.
I am so honored.
I'm honored, Michael, to have you as part of our crew now, as part of our academy, as part of everything that we're doing, which I still need to add you to the website. I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
I don't think anybody's really like shopping around in there yet. We continue to tell everyone about it, but it's been quite a ride that we've all been on, and to have you as part of what we're building. And now I didn't know a lot about the rest of your career before tonight, and that's why I was really adamant about kind of getting you in here so we could talk more without AJ in the way. Just kidding, AJ, if you end up making it this far in the show. Well, and eventually, I knew that he was made for something bigger, and I know that I came into his life and he came into mine at a place where we both really needed each other. I had wanted to build this academy or a school and a community of that. And I didn't have the wherewithal to grow it in the rate that I could have, with, you know, things being what they are, and him kind of just literally falling into my lap and me going, hey buddy, we're just going to do this over here. And I want you to be part of this team now. And if somebody else didn't want you, well, shame on them, because, I think you're a wonderful human being, and everything that you're doing for all of these other extremely talented people, while you yourself are a songwriter, it showed me so many shades of myself, right? That I have my own music, and yes, I share it on, you know, the shows as intros and outros and in different ways. But a lot of people don't even realize that it's me, right? Like, they don't realize until they've listened to the show and be like, wait a minute, that sounds familiar. Like, is that you? And yeah, of course, because I don't want to pay someone else for the intro to my show. I mean, selfishly, that's what it is, right? I have these songs. They need to be used in some way. Every song has its place. Your song is title tracks to movies and credit tracks to, like, massive productions that deserve that. It deserves that space to be heard in theaters and to be, you know, broadcast onto major motion pictures. That's the level that it's
and that's what's really kind of exciting is I write from a Broadway kind of standpoint, or an epic kind of,
well, it's your background and your musical theater directing, you know, degrees. And it's like, that you've been built quite literally for that. And it's something that, while I could learn to do it, I'm not writing songs like that right now. I mean, Drifter, one of my songs that Willie uses as one of his intros, is maybe like the most that I've orchestrated a song, right? Where it was layers of vocals, and I saw it. I saw the music video as we're, you know, in the studio, and I was like, oh, this is this. But I've had very few studio opportunities. I don't really know how to operate my home studio. While I have some nice microphones, and my room's not treated, and I've recorded some stuff at home, but it was never going to be of a quality that I felt good to put out there. So I'm very, very protective of, like, my time, right? Like, where is my time the most efficient? Where am I gaining on that? And do I have the time right now? You know, I'm raising small children, and there's only so much of it I have available. So I have to be protective of it. And my time is much better spent doing these things that we're doing now, and producing these shows and getting other people's music out there at a time where it's more needed than ever, than it is to be learning how to produce all of the stuff at home. And I need to be out. I need to be working. I need to be building communities and doing all of those things. And in doing that, I will find the places or the people that will help me to bring the songs to fruition, right? So I'm going to keep doing exactly what I'm doing. You keep doing exactly what you're doing.
Well, just to let you know, I'm actually, I think you might be aware, but about 6 months ago, I was asked to write some music for a motion picture, and that soundtrack and the movie's being released this year.
Amazing.
That's incredible.
So I wrote the theme song, and the director and author of the movie fell in love. I mean, in fact, he said he took it to his producer and she cried. She's like, I can't understand. He got this movie. Well, they sent me a screener, and so I wrote. But they said, would you write some more music for the song? And so, believe it or not, I wrote.
Gosh, for a director, that's got to be such an incredible feeling to have someone go watch your movie and to just get it right. It's got to be such a powerful moment for them to just, you know, to feel seen and heard, right? Yeah. It's like, as human beings, that's all we're trying to do. And us people that create so many things, that it's really to have people that are moved by your art. And we all come from the music world, so it's slightly different but for a director to give you that kind of feedback, really cool.
It is. And I even had to write a dance song. The movie takes place in the 80s. So I had to go back and do a retro.
You had to rewrite Flashdance?
Oh no, this is fun. This is like a club. This is like a 80s club anthem kind of. And when I sent the one, he said, I'm going to use it. He said, but I want to I want a song for the actual club scene. We will do the other one for another scene. So I want you to just go crazy. So as crazy as the version was that I sent him, he's like, and so we went wild effects, delay, all this. It was just, and the track is so much fun. And I had a blast doing it because I do sing a lot of ballads and anthems. And I'm like, sometimes it's nice to just say, I want to have fun on this song. And I want to, so it ended up being a dance song anthem. And he said, everybody on the post-production was like, we're buying the soundtrack.
You need to get me into some music lessons so that I can become a better singer in my own right. And then I can be an extra voice for you when you feel a little out of place. And I would love to sing any song that you're working on. Preston, I would love to connect you with Preston. Jonesy is such a great producer and still early on in his career as well, but prolific, I would say, in his creation. And really, it's almost like a video game to him, where every day he sits behind the computer and just, oh, here's a new one. Oh, this is just starting from scratch constantly, right? Just always going back with a blank canvas and what comes out. And I'm so jealous of that because, like, I don't have that. I write from a very emotional place. Like, I have to go out and, like, screw something up to have something to write down.
See, that's why I hope I can get to a point. I mean,
what, you want to screw some stuff up, Willie?
No.
Oh, no.
Just be able to sit behind my computer screen. I do really good at screwing things up. I did it for 35 years. I don't need any more pointers than that. But no, just to have the ear. I mean,
you're going to get it, man. You're going to get it, Willie. You've come so far. I mean, Willie and I just met in June. I was down in Missouri for a music festival. He was running sound, and I had brought some of my equipment with me because I kind of just got the feeling from the organizers that, you know, they might need a little help. I have a lot of experience in the field of running smaller shows like this. And so when I showed up, kind of getting my equipment set up as front of house, and Willie did the stage monitors, but I really left him to, you know, to running the sound and to do what he was hired to do. And whether anyone, I don't remember getting paid or anything from that, but what you were there to do. And we just hit it off, and it's butted into this brotherhood now with us. And the same thing with you, Michael, that like, I freaking love the internet. So many people can get caught in the trap of just being angry all the time and stuck on social media. And I've been so blessed to connect with, you know, another brother in AJ and all the amazing people that he's brought into my life, you know, places like the Hope Music Foundation that I had no idea. And we have all these causes to get behind now, Operation Combating Veteran Suicide and doing just all the things that we're doing to actually change our world. And we're getting to do it all through music and this national tour that I'm planning and just like all the things, right? And like he says here, Willie, just keep at it, man. You're going to get it. You're going to get it, and keep moving and keep going. It will come to you. And none of us are perfect. None of us are as old as we say we are either. We still have a lot of life and a lot of career left in here. And if we can accomplish this much in one calendar year, as I did in 2025, and we have to this point, the Scene Projects isn't even 2 years old yet. Right? Like as an entity is not even 2 years old yet. And we have accomplished so much in this short amount of time that thank you, Jonesy. I appreciate it. You've been here since the beginning, man. You've been here to watch it evolve from just an idea that I've had and like, hey, I think we're going to call it The Scene. And now it's evolved into the Scene Project Sports Network and the Get Better Together Project and, you know, the Patriot Broadcasting Project and all these different things. And I'm starting a new business one like tomorrow. And I'm just, you know, I'm so, and someone today was like, oh, you have so many plates spinning. Like, is it ever too much? And I was like, well, as soon as it gets to be too much, I just hand one of the plates off. Right. And an unsigned spotlight in many ways is that, where seeing you and your passion that you have as being a co-host with us, that there's nothing that I'm doing that AJ can't do on his own. Right. Like, all I can do is, hey, AJ, this is your baby now. And you and Michael kind of carry on this tradition now. And Willie started his own podcast and may start to run this podcast on his own. Right. And to allow me the freedom to go do the other things and to grow this network and to evolve.
Well, yeah, because really, the point. If you think about yourself, not trying to be, you're a creator. Creators create things, give birth to things, make sure they're good, and then they go off and they birth other things. And that's kind of your passion. You're kind of go in, create something, watch it develop, make sure it's standing good, and then go to the next,
it's kind of like we alluded to when I talked about playing on those big stages. Like, I don't need to go and do that over and like, okay, I've had that experience. I'm ready to move on. Right. Like, I kind of left my music career at the top of where I had brought it. I worked all this time to like get there, did it. And it was like, like, it was okay. It was cool, but like, there's so many more important things. And I had been developing the podcast underneath of that and was very grateful to have that. And I was like, oh, I can do so much more with my superpower in this podcasting media space than I can just in music, right? Like, I have ADHD through the freaking roof, right? Like, I've never been diagnosed, but it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure it out either, right? I've just been able to always wield it as a superpower, right? I mean, even playing music, I'm running sound, I'm singing, I'm playing guitar, I'm dancing, I'm orchestrating the band, I'm doing 7 freaking things at the same time every minute I'm on the stage, right? And it was so important for me to now, okay, well, now I can do this. What else can I do? Right? What else am I capable of? And I love a challenge. And once I feel like I'm not being challenged anymore, that's idle hands, right? And that's when it starts to become, I just lose interest, right? And that's kind of the long and short of it, is that, and once it doesn't interest me, then I'm not putting it into it. That's when I slide back to the bad habits, the addictions, the other things in my life. And I don't want to do that now. And I'm so motivated to keep moving forward with what we're doing. But it takes people that are willing to step into those other roles and to see the good of those things to fill those spaces as I do move on, so that they don't just die.
Oh yeah, but that's the thing about you, Bubba, is you have an knack for seeing it in people that don't see it in themselves.
Identifying talent is definitely one of those things, and being able to give you a little piece of my unnatural confidence. There's nothing I've done in my life besides just like survive that has given me that, right? Like, I've just survived through a lot of shit that should have killed me. Right. And now I'm here, and it's like, well, if I can get here, then you can do whatever that you're, want to set your heart to, the first time I went to Los Angeles, Michael, I literally went to be a crackhead bum for a night. Like, went to sleep on the street in Skid Row and smoke crack just to say I did it. Right now, I didn't have to do it. I woke up the next day and OG is like, yeah, you don't belong here. I'm in my suede jacket with my North Face backpack, and I almost had a box cutter fight. And I just like, okay, yeah, you're right. I probably don't need to do this, but I'm so stubborn that I won't listen to anyone who's like, yeah, you probably don't want to do that. Right. Absolutely. I'm a little better now. I listen to my wife when my wife's like, hey, don't do that. I'm
Do
like,
you really though? Do you really though?
Enough. You know what? I give some people way too much of a benefit of the doubt still, where she sees it right away. She has that spidey sense where she's like, they're trouble. And maybe it's her correctional officer background, or it's her, where now she's a teacher at the school, which makes her very adept for those things. But, not the first time, but I listened the second time.
But I will say this, and I'm not saying it just because she was on here, but that's the thing about her is you truly found someone that you could be a used car salesman, and as long as you were happy, she'd be in your corner.
Yeah. I mean, I've gone without an income essentially for 2 years, darn near. It'll be 2 years in February that I said, hey, I'm going to quit my job. Like, I'm going to walk away from this $50,000 a year job where we live very comfortably, and I'm going to pursue this thing. And I don't know what I thought. I was quitting my job to be a rock star, Michael. I had a bunch of gigs booked. They were the big gigs. I was like, this is it. My career is launching. And then I got out there and I was like, there is still so much more work to do. And I don't have the stomach for that. And in the meantime, I was developing this podcast and I found a passion for it. And it's stuck. And now we've grown this thing to where like that big break is right around the corner. I'm sure you can feel that at points in your career where you grind and grind and grind and grind. And then it's like something's changing, right? Like something is happening underneath the surface that's not quite, it hasn't bubbled up yet, but it's there. And I know that I just have to keep going.
And that's kind of, you need that kind of faith anyway. I mean, you have to be able to find that kind of faith in what you believe you're supposed to do, and the art that you've done and the work that you've done and the labor that you've done. You have to have that kind of faith. But yes, I have never been more terrified and more excited in my life than I am at this very given moment, because there is a path that leads to the success and the fulfillment, that we have. And so, I sense it with you, all the time, doing your shows, even though you disappear on us.
Sorry, my heater was about to kick on. I could hear it. I was like, oh, not gonna ruin my show.
Your passion and enthusiasm is contagious.
Oh,
it really, really is. It's like it draws people to move forward and come aboard and take a leap. And that's a serious gift. I mean, that's just really, it's one thing to go through the motions. And as a singer, we have all done that. There's nights you're just like, okay, I just don't want to sing the song. It's just not clicking. And then you have to go, but these people came for this. They've never seen it. They've never seen you.
I don't want to play Margaritaville again, but here you go. Fuck you, Jimmy.
But
just kidding. I love you, Jimmy Buffett. Rest in peace.
No, and that's the thing. You're right, because when I come to him 7 months ago, I'm like, hey, I got this idea that I want to do. Even though he pokes fun of my country twang all the time.
Yeah, I just love that you call it an ideal. Like, you have some great ideals, but you also have some great ideas as well. So
whatever.
This one was an idea.
But anyway, and I come to him, and I knew it was coming.
That's Missouri education, Michael.
I'm not saying.
It's my 3 R's: reading, writing, and redneckery. You leave me alone, okay? But you do. Like, you asked me 7 months ago if I would be where I am today. Absolutely not. And it's because I'm where Michael was 7 months ago when I started my podcast. Honestly, I was nervous, scared, but now I've got people, not just you and on the internet, but locally, that come up to me and I have no idea who they are. And they're like, you're Wild Willie. I was like, at first it's like, well, how do you know? Well, then now it's like, now it's kind of boosted my ego a little bit, which I already have a big ego. So now it boosted it even more. So I was like, well, yes, I am.
Okay.
So that's me, right? That's why I'll never go. And people always ask me like, well, what's your real name? And I was like, I'm Bubba fucking Starts. Like, come on, you're not taking that. That is who I am. And it took me a long time to kind of own that. It's not just what people call me. It is who I am. And that unnatural confidence that I've built in my life, that supernatural confidence rather, that comes from somewhere, right? I mean, I've been blessed there. I can't take credit for all of this stuff. It's been a God thing, right? To put me in this position, to give me the tools and the to put me through everything that I went through, to not ever be shaken, to have unshakable faith is you know, people don't have it. To know so confidently that like, no, this is going to work. This is going to work. I promise you, this is going to work. And then to see where it's gone, and we have people reaching out to us with massive you know, massive social media followings and wanting to be part of what we're doing, and everyone that's coming into it now. Even the AJ situation, AJ was fully invested into a whole nother company and doing a whole different thing when I met him. And I was like, man, I would love to work with you. It'd be cool to see where this went. And 3 days later, that whole thing came crashing down. And AJ's like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do. My whole life is crashing. I'm like, hey buddy, I'm sorry all that happened, but like, I don't give a shit about what anybody else is out there saying about you. And I think it's awful that people have just abandoned you at the first sign of trouble, but I'm here and I think we can build something really amazing together. And that was, you know, that was two and a half months ago, right? It was like, it was no time ago. It was, I think it was right after I got home from Nashville, and I landed in this relationship with him now. And now we get to spend you know, 5 days a week together on our live show, and to just build something that is going to matter to so many people, right? 30 artists a week we get to put on. 30 artists, right? Or 30 songs, right? By, you know, and we want more submissions on that. And I hope that Jason Caspi, you know, just sends us his song as well. And we'd love to play them. We would love to feature you on our shows. Like, we're not telling anyone no. And if we run out of time, then we'll just build a new show and find a new host, or I'll do my 17th show of the week. I don't care. I'm going to keep going. And I realize that not everyone has that, right? And not everyone wants it as bad, but that's also why they don't deserve to celebrate the massive wins that we're going to get to celebrate in 2026. It's just,
I believe that. I really do believe. I really, honestly, truly believe that. That I don't doubt that at all.
I completely agree, because like, for me, I thought 50 episodes were a lot.
I did 50 episodes last week, Willie.
Anyway, yeah, but it's neither here nor there, Bubba.
It's not a competition. I'm just letting you know. It's time to catch up. You got the studio back up and rolling. I've given you a couple months off now. You got the house done.
I never said all that to say this, Mr. High and Mighty. No, just kidding. But you got to listen when someone comes up. Like, the thought of you telling me, record a couple episodes a day, get way out, you know? I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm going to do it one day at a time, blah, blah, blah. I had no real plan. But you are, and I tell everybody this, that in the podcast world, I mean, even as a sound guy, I mean, yeah, you taught me so much in that one weekend. But in the podcast world, the mentorship that you have brought to it, like, yes, I am booked out till April. No. Yeah, April. But doing all them 20 episodes a week, I was able to, when life got hard and kicked me a butt, I was able to take time for me and my daughter I needed to readjust what was going on personally, because I listened to that. And I think that's where people come in and they don't want to listen, and they want, oh, I'm a big podcaster, blah, blah, blah. I'm a big artist. And they have this chip on their shoulder. And I see it too much. Like,
you deal with a lot of people in like the independent hip hop rap world, and
yes, and I've gone to festivals, like, you know, shout out to Crazy Casey. I love her to death. My kids call her Aunt as well. And went to an event at Captain Jack's, and someone's like, oh my God, this sounds horrible, Willie, fix it. And I was like, wait a minute. I'm not that guy. Well, then they're like, no. And then the next thing I know, 2 other people come up and I said, I'm not the sound guy. I have no control. But it was just awesome that people know me for that environment. So that when they see me, oh, Willie's here to save it.
Yep.
And even though I'm still learning, I'm a lot better than I have been 3 years ago, but I'm still learning. And I was like, you need to fix this. So I go up and talk to the sound guy, and I was like, look, your music is way higher than your sound. You're clipping your artists. And he's like, no. I've been doing this X amount of years. And I said, okay.
Nothing will sink you faster than your own ego.
And I was like, exactly. And so I backed off.
I love doing this show and all the shows that we do where we're sharing other artists, music. And I talk to a lot of, at this point, the podcast has grown to a point where, and I found my way into a bunch of these PR circles now where, when people are represented by PR firms, it's because they're usually of a certain level. I'm talking to CEOs, founders of companies, and I'm having these super high level conversations. It doesn't take long to be humbled, right? I mean, I've been humbled on this, listening to Michael perform and listening to your musical background and your career arc. And like, man, it would be really easy for me to just, hang it up. Like, I'm never going to be as good as Michael, and I'm going to let my ego get in my way, and I'm never going to do it again, and I'm never going to be as good as him. And that's ego as well, right? To have that kind of on the opposite end of the poor me is your ego too. And a lot of people need to get over that just as much as they need to get over having a big ass head that nobody can tell you nothing.
I can't get over that. It comes natural.
Yeah, you got big ass head for sure. No doubt. Michael, I know that you didn't have supper. Granted, it's not 9:30 out there. We've kept you long enough, I think. I'm ready for bed. I haven't had supper either. I'm going to hopefully make it over to the bowling alley where my wife hopefully still has the grill on and I can beg her for a meal. But I'm so grateful for you two gentlemen. Preston, thanks for tuning in, brother. I appreciate knowing that you're listening and that you've been sharing in these moments live on there. Michael, I'm going to connect you with Preston as well. And I think you guys would really hit it off. And let's create some music together. Right. Let's all grow together and keep making music and keep building this community. Exactly. We're here to create. We're here to create the world around us. I have a song called Building Today, and I'll play it for you next time we get together, Michael, and you can hear some of my music as well. Absolutely love you, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me, Michael. Thanks for letting us share your songs and for sharing your story with us. It was, as Preston said, that such an epic podcast, and this one especially was all of that. Absolutely. EPIC, epic. Love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Willie, thanks for coming back on the show. It's good to see you, brother. Shout out to everybody. Michael, tell everyone where they can find you online before I let you get out of here.
You can find me on either balladbuilter.com or michaelcagleonline.com.
Fantastic. Well, gentlemen, have a great rest of your evening wherever you happen to be. I absolutely adore you both. And I can't wait to see you. Yeah, you got it. Way to get some sports into the music podcast too, Michael. I like it. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye. Thank you.